Sir, I'm Officer Jones. I hear you reported a murder. You dialed 911 and reported a murder today. Yeah, this is true. I did. I started my morning witnessing a murder. And right now I'm positive that I saw a murder take place, but I'm unsure who got murdered and who the murderer was. So what I'm going to do, Officer Jones, is I'm going to give you my statement about this murder. Started today walking the dog. We got out the door about 8 o'clock for a walk around the neighborhood, and I saw that Mo Batar had a video this morning, and so I watched it. I forgot my headband. As you can see in the picture of me on this live stream, I do like to rock the Bluetooth headband, especially when walking the dog, and I usually listen to videos through that headband. And I forgot it. So instead I had to put my phone on speaker and listen through my pocket. I watched the video. I listened to the video, but he did a video review of Grokbot. And I knew 30 seconds in that this was not a, this was Mo being sarcastic. I knew it. And I hoped that he was going to be sarcastic through the whole video and not give the bit away, because Mo is a comedian and he's very, very good at it. And as I've mentioned several times in the past couple of days, the guy is the GOAT of AI criticism, the absolute GOAT, greatest of all time. There is no competing with this guy. He has got this figured out. He is not the shrill critic that Ed Zitron, Eli the computer guy, L from France. He is not in that lane. He knows how this stuff works. He knows how to pull a string, and he knows how to make it funny and make this absurd situation, shed light on it. That's what he knows how to do. And he absolutely murdered Grokbot in a video that I knew people would completely misinterpret. And I posted about it. I posted to LinkedIn about it. I posted how I thought it was like the most brilliant thing I think I'd ever seen certainly in tech commentary. Like it really was. It was amazing to watch it. Look, I'm walking along, okay? I don't smoke, okay? I needed a cigarette after that video ended. And I didn't watch the video. I just listened to it, and I needed a cigarette. And that's how bad that was. No, I did not go get a cigarette. That's a figure of speech. I don't smoke. Okay, you guys. Enough of that. Officer Jones, enough of that. Did my show with Soman and Lewis, and Uncle Pete joined us today, the unlinked stand-up. And kind of mentioned this just a tad in the show. I think I did. I haven't listened to it to confirm, but I think I did. This is definitely on my mind. And I posted a couple more times about it because I knew most of you did not get that this was sarcasm. And I did not want to give the joke away, but I also felt like I needed to get a few of you on board to see what was going on with this video that Mo posted. Under his new account, his newly resurrected account, by the way, Less Bitter. And he has told us that this Less Bitter account is where he does not post sarcastic takes. And that's part of his shtick, which makes it even more amazing. This is supposed to be his account for use with Substack, where he posts serious things that are not poking fun at the industry and the absurdity of it. But this was definitely poking fun. In the video, he showed off these tasks that he made with Grokbot, and these tasks were the reason they were absurd is because if you imagine 100,000 people doing these tasks, there's no more New York Times website. There's no more free information on the internet. Like it just doesn't scale that way. And what Grokbot lets you do is it lets you create a basically a desktop computer environment that can go and browse these websites, gather the information from them, do whatever language task you want to do, summarize whatever else, and send you a notification every 30 seconds or every 30 minutes. I think he was doing here. If there's a change to the headline stories on the website, imagine a million people doing that, and that website is going to collapse. Like, we actually saw this a little bit when OpenClaw became popular, and the only tool that you could use, actually they called them skills, the only skill that you could use without providing an API key out of the box was the weather skill. And it didn't take a weekend before the guy who has WTTR.in for his site to collapse under the load. And of course, this became my thing. The weather became my thing for just testing out agents. Can I check the weather? Well, it turned out I couldn't check the weather without deleting my most important file share. This actually happened, right? So I got bit by that. Like, everybody got bit by some kind of OpenClaw thing. We knew that this was just a bad idea. Well, okay, fast forward, what are we, 8 months? And SpaceX AI has, they have Grokbot. And Grokbot is this safe place where you can run these things on, basically a virtual machine with a user interface, and you can tell it things to do, like go out here and grab this website, and real user, not an API user, and go do these things. Of course, Mo gets to this in his little sarcastic presentation, and it does 8 examples of it. I think it was 8, and yeah, I mean, it was phenomenal. I was just hoping through this whole thing he would not give away the bit, and he didn't give away the bit. And even in the comments that started to appear, somebody asked him, is this sarcastic or not? And his reply was, this is my serious channel. Like, he went with the bit through the comments to the end of the video and the comments. Okay, so I just think, okay, he's just murdered this. It's going to take a couple days for people to realize that this was very, very clever and very, very well done. But he's murdered Grokbot. I thought I had witnessed a murder. So this afternoon, I see this tweet that you guys see on the screen right now, and it's Elon retweeting Mo's post to X and saying it's a good review of Grokbot. And my reaction was, Mo, you just murdered Elon. And you just murdered XAI, because here's the CEO or the head guy, the founder. I don't even, what is Elon's position? He's the CEO of SpaceX AI. I have no idea. He's the guy. He's Elon. It's Elon Companies 2, I guess, is what SpaceX AI represents. And Elon has apparently fallen for this. And I thought, wow, Mo, that's some collateral damage you did there when everybody sorts this out. And then I got to thinking, no, the real damage here is there's going to be a lot of people who are going to try this out, and they're going to try to automate getting information from every website that they think is cool. And there's going to be a lot of websites that are just going to go down because they're being hit every 10 minutes by Grokbot or some other bot to see if they've changed in 10 minutes, and then somebody's going to get a notification, and millions of people are going to get notifications, and we're going to think this is great. Automation is wonderful. We're going to just do this at scale, and it's going to bring the internet to a crawl. And I started to think, well, that's going to kill the internet, and that seems like such an easy take, because that's not going to happen. It's the sites are going to defend themselves. They're not going to allow this. You're going to end up having to, if you want to be a free user of any website, you're going to have to prove that you're a human and not some bot running in a GUI browser on some virtual machine controlled by Grok. You're going to have to do that. I don't know how that plays out, but I guess it plays out. And then I had this realization that Elon might be the murderer. And what Elon might have done is he might have murdered the free internet himself so that he can impose a token system whereby whether you're automated or whether you're real, you're going to go through Grok to be able to access the information that's on the internet. You're going to pay for it with tokens, just like you pay for computing power. And I wondered how it was that Elon, sort of the third place in, and really he's fourth place because Gemini is a large third place. But I wondered how XAI managed to figure out this choke point when OpenAI and Anthropic, and obviously Gemini, did not. And I think he just stumbled into it. I think OpenAI, Sam's just going to screw things up. He is incompetent, and he's going to screw his way up into, whatever spot that OpenAI is stuck in. And Dario is just evil. Dario is going to evil himself into whatever, he gets. And I thought Elon was like a good guy and competent. I think that was, he's his heart's in the right place and he's competent. I think that's how we saw him with Tesla. It's how we saw him with SpaceX. Basically access to space. He's cut that in a tenth from what NASA could do. And I thought, yeah, AI is going to be the same way. He's going to give us, it'll it'll be cloud based. Well, he's actually got a data center working. He's not with Colossus. He's not selling something that he hasn't built and doesn't know how to build yet. And that's, and he'll know to kind of stay in his lane and, not overextend, not promise too much. He wants AI, as he calls it, to be truth seeking. He's not guaranteeing the truth. He's saying we're on a journey to the truth, but he knows, we can't do truth with this. It doesn't work that way. We can have good intentions though. And he's not promising AGI. I just thought, okay, good guy, kind of has it in perspective. He's going along. And yet here he stumbled on a choke point. And he stumbled on a choke point in the interest of automation. I did automation for 10 years. I automated demos for companies that were demonstrating expensive software because their salespeople weren't the best at demos. Now, some of them are pretty good, but most of them just aren't. And they're good at sales. They're not so great at demos. And so I worked for a company that made demos that were just effing awesome. I'm going to tell you what happens with automation. Automation breaks. I'd call that, I don't know, whoever did automation first, call it their first rule. And it breaks for reasons that you have no control over, you have no anticipation of. Just count on it breaking. It will break, and you will have to fix it. And this is ultimately why I am I'm pessimistic about the ability of non-humans to meaningfully automate things, is because somebody's got to understand what the point of the automation was to figure out how to fix it quickly, keep it up and going. And I've kind of seen over and over, certainly with the OpenClaw thing and then with other agent projects that I've followed, that when you ditch the humans, it becomes very, very difficult to figure out, okay, what went wrong here? You can watch it in real time go wrong, but can you clean up after it? Yeah, probably not. Can you fix it so that it works tomorrow? It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be just as much work as creating that automation was in the first place. And it turns out to be kind of difficult. So I've been pessimistic about this. What Elon has stumbled into is that doesn't matter. What matters is we'll just do it at scale, and we'll overwhelm all the systems of information delivery that we once had. And then you're going to have to pay for it. And you're going to have to pay for it through us because we're going to be the only trusted people who are allowed to get in there. Companies are not going to set up APIs and API charging mechanisms, toll booths, their own. They're not going to set up their own. negotiating those, navigating those is going to be too difficult. I mean, even providing like access tokens and whatever else, you have to do that for 100 different sites that you want to grab information from. It's going to be too much work for you. You're going to want to end up in a bundle model or siloed model, if you will, that has access to lots of sites from the same tokens. And who's already selling tokens? Well, there's 3 companies. Well, let's call it 4 companies that are already selling tokens, and they're selling tokens for inference. And these same tokens can be for sale, could be used for access as well. And there's enough of them that's what you're going to do as a site. You're going to sign up to accept XAI tokens, or you're going to sign up to accept Anthropic tokens, or you're going to sign up to accept OpenAI or Gemini tokens. And then what are you going to do about those open source inference things? Are they going to have token systems too that you can buy into? You know, I'd say probably not. Guess what? The information that you as a customer clear through this system, of course, is going to be accessible in transit by Anthropic, OpenAI, XAI, Google. And if you're a provider of information, you're no longer providing information directly to your customer through their web browser. You're providing it to your customer through XAI, Anthropic, OpenAI, Google. They'll be able to monetize it, and they'll also be able to control it. They'll be and to do whatever they want with the information. So we got this problem about that Alex Karp identified about your alpha, your company's alpha. That was a problem with inference. Well, we're going to have this problem just with access now. You're not going to have like, you're not going to have this encrypted information go through, let's say, Spectrum or Cloudflare or, you know, whoever else. It's going to go unencrypted to the token processors, and then to you schemes through their automation harnesses. And that's what I think we saw. That's the murder that I think I saw. So Officer Jones, that's the murder that I'm actually reporting is we killed the free internet today. And I think Elon was probably holding the gun, and he probably left it out for somebody to pretend to murder him and murder his company, and that didn't happen. But that's what we saw. Well, I've been doing this for 18 minutes. I've been telling you about this. Let me tell you one last thing that I've been trying to navigate, and I'm gonna give it a lot of thought to see if it's even worth it. And it's a middle ground on, quote, artificial intelligence. I hate the term, nothing intelligent about it. I think it sets our frame wrong and everything else. The proponents are out of control, and they're doing stupid, expensive things. And this is an example, of pretending to use these things to automate things that are just gonna make life difficult for everybody who used to use them in a non-automated way. We're sucked into this now. This is how we have to use it and how we have to pay for it. Then there are the critics, and the critics. Look, there's an account that I follow on LinkedIn, and she posts these videos that she makes with an AI that are of a bunny, a cartoon bunny, and this cartoon bunny and all the characters and whatever else. She actually created models by hand, or with, as I understand it, with Illustrator, but call that by hand. It's certainly a human process. She makes those models and she sends them up to the AI to animate, and she comes up with the story that she wants animated, and these turn out to be 10 to 20 second shorts. Much like, I think she actually did them on Sora for a while. They were watermarked visually with Sora. She gets a ton of grief for this. It's AI slop, and it's absolutely delightful. That's the thing. It's like delightful stories, and they're fun to watch. I mean, I don't even care about bunnies and whatever else. I stop and watch her stories because they delight me. And yet she'll always get a comment on there. Oh, this AI is slop. This is garbage. I know she gets her posts reported all the time. There's the purists who say, oh, you're taking jobs away from animators. She isn't taking a job away from an animator. She couldn't afford an animator to do that before. This is a net new thing. It didn't take an animator's job away. Absolutely silly. So the critics, I think you guys are silly too. The established critics are, they're all talking about the circular bubble. That is not the bubble we're in. We're all in this bubble of, we're all in our own individual AI bubbles of look what it's doing to how we communicate. We don't know how to break out of them. So I've always tried to find the middle, and it's not about averaging the two and finding a compromise. It's that the proponent side is not true. The critic side is not true. And somewhere there's truth. And I think that truth probably does lie in the middle, but it's not an average. It's just a different truth. It's a different spot. It's starting to feel like a valley in Afghanistan. It's what it's starting to feel like. Everybody's shooting at you from on high. Soviets saw that. We saw that, and everybody sees that. That's what high ground's all about. But the middle is not high ground. And starting to question whether that's even worth pursuing when, just even a simple murder, Officer Jones. I couldn't even tell who was shot today. I think I figured it out at the end. All right, that's what I had to say. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk soon.